viewers? This is Chaitali, your host for Ironcraft, and I am back today with another episode of Ironcraft. Today, my guest is someone whom I met and saw her work because of the case study blog. She's actually the owner of the blog. And if you want to ask me why I didn't know her before that, I have no good answer. I don't know why I didn't know her before. But when I found her, I started stalking her around on Pinterest, on her blog, and finally convinced her to come on Ironcraft and give us an interview. So I'm so glad to have Iwona today. Hi, Iwona.
Hello.
Hey. So I guess the very first thing I'm going to ask you is, so that I can stop calling you Iwona and call you by the name you're most popularly known as. How did you get your nickname, Chupa, and where did it come from?
I've been telling that story to various people at various stages because everyone is asking. I'll try to keep it short because it's a bit long. It comes back to the time that me and my husband of now met online. Lucia, can you please take it down a little bit? We met on an interest forum, which was about paranormal ghosts. Because that's sort of what I like, so we were tackling a broad range of subjects there, and one of them was urban legends, sort of mythical creatures, and his nickname on the forum when I started to gain interest in him, I noticed his nickname is Grey Goat because he loves goats. So I thought it would be fun to sort of play a word game there, and so I took my nickname there as Chupacabra, and Chupacabra is an urban legend creature that's supposedly roaming the territory of Mexico and around, killing goats mainly, and it's in Spanish. It translates from Spanish as the goat sucker. And it's sort of because we were pretty much in the subject. It was funny to us to sort of connect us in that same bit quirky way, and it stayed like this. I'm quite attached to it. My husband is still a grey goat. I'm still a Chupacabra, short Chapa, and this is just sort of a very nice warm memory to us and I'm just stayed as this to everyone. That this is in no way related to Chupa Chups. This is not about lollipops. It's about rockers.
Nice. And then it came over to paper crafting, and I think you also have it as your Instagram name.
Yeah. I use it everywhere. This is just what I am. Yeah.
Part of your identity. Awesome. Cool. Mm-hmm. So going back then to your blog, and I was reading through your way earlier posts, and in the first few posts you definitely mentioned that you are a crafter on a budget. So I want to know if that's true even today, and what was your initial budget, and what is your budget now?
Well, my initial budget, I basically had no budget. This was it. I was basically having just, the sort of a pocket money style kind of thing that I was mainly spending in some, dollar shops on some of their, very basic, lame, crafty things.
So budget was not like unlimited budget.
Oh no! I'm still a very frugal crafter. I'm always, I don't work, and I respect the fact that my husband is the sole provider, and I really try to be on the frugal side. Before I go and buy something, I always agonize for half an hour before I press that buy button because I know that every dollar is important, and I was just lucky that being on the many design teams, it actually probably built at least half of my stash as it is so far. So this is basically what it is. All the time I'm a frugal kind of a lady. I don't go and buy everything. I think a lot about what I'm buying, and I make sure that if I buy it, I use it, because otherwise I'll be very, very mad at myself.
Right. Very cool. So then I got to ask you, if you had to make a choice to buy a stamp set, what are some qualities you would look in it so that it's kind of usable? You said you want to reuse it a bunch of times. So what are some qualities you would look in it?
Yeah, it needs to be versatile. I need to see it on at least 10 cards, 10 different cards when I look at it. It needs to be, I try not to look for things that I can clearly see there are trends that might come and go. Because they just very quickly come and go in this industry. There are so many things that used to be trendy a year ago and they're not anymore. So this is a waste of money. I try to look for timeless things. Great sentiments that will work on lots of different cards. I like to, probably my favorite would be multi-step stamping florals, because this is something that I can work on a number of cards with, and depending on what medium I use, what colors I use, what arrangement I use, I can always have a different card with it. So the more versatile it is, the more I fall for it. Yeah.
Cool. How do you reconcile that with, you submit a lot for publications, and usually I think their request is to use latest product and in-trend product. So how do you reconcile, being frugal and crafting on a budget with also being able to submitting for publishing? I think this is a very common question across. Quite a few people have this question.
That's again comes down to that same question of acquiring things that are timeless. I have some stamp sets that I would have gotten 2 years ago, and they're still current. And as soon as the company is still having them current, that means I'll be still reusing them. Same with dies. There are plenty of dies that would be using all over again every time. And this is about just thinking about what you're doing when you're buying things. I can't afford getting when you think every month. Yeah, I just think what I do when I buy things that I know that in a year's time I'll still be able to use it.
Yeah. Cool. Sounds like a good plan. That and get on design teams.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that works too. Yeah.
Awesome. So I know you've mentioned quite a few times before. I think I've read on on Facebook from you, and even otherwise, inspiration is the basis of a lot of your work. And case study is a great example of that too. And I know you have met some good card making and blogging friends through this too. So what were the first blogs you started following, and what were some of the first card making friends you made?
There is not actually. I don't have too many opportunities to meet people in real life. So that recent event was pretty much the first event that I could attend. That there were quite a few of my friends, and that was absolutely fantastic. But as for online friends, I do have plenty, and I cherish them immensely. I think looking at the case study muses is a pretty much a good indication of who my idols were at first and how they evolved. Because those first muses were probably my first crafty crushes. Would be, I don't know, Makiko Jones, Laurie Schmidling, which was probably the first blog ever that I came across. And I was like, oh my god, that was like a blast. Yeah, it did evolve as my style evolved a little bit. My idols evolved a bit too. The My choice of them. Yeah, it's just a liquid thing. It just changes a
Cool.
lot.
And you get a new muse every month and a new person to follow, I guess, every month too. That's awesome.
Yeah, they usually someone I've been stalking for quite a while too, but I always get a huge kick out of the fact that someone becomes a muse, and I always get a huge excitement like this weekend I'm going to post another sneak peek of the new muse, and I always get a huge kick out of it because I know that this is going to be a hit. At least I'm excited. My teamies are excited, and it's so incredible to get in touch with all these people that I wouldn't otherwise get in touch with.
Right. See,
Right.
you know now why I was talking you for Ironcraft. I really wanted you here exactly for
I
this.
know you did. You didn't let me leave until I said that I'm finally doing it.
We're gonna do it. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think I understand that. It's so much fun to, take an inspiration and craft from it rather than
Right.
just craft on your own. It's more fun to feel like you're part of a group than just you're alone by yourself. So
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing to create something bigger than yourself. It's to watch that grow and yeah, it's mind blowing. I absolutely love case study.
cool.
It's my baby.
And this is then the perfect time to talk about challenges. And you are the owner of two challenges, so this is a perfect time to talk about, what were some of your memorable moments with both of them, Sketchbook Saturday and Case Study? What were your maybe your one or two big moments that you really remember about them?
Well, sketchbooks, I'm getting pretty low. It's as much of fun for myself, just designing those sketches and as it is to look at those entries I'm getting. So I'm keeping that pretty low, and it's not much eventful. I would love to take it to a new level, but I just don't have time at the moment. Well, case study is a bigger deal. I get probably the most satisfaction from our anniversaries. I think we had 3 so far. And every time it gets bigger and bigger, there is a huge block hop coming where pretty much almost all of our muses every year. Past muses join in along with past and current design team members, and that event to coordinate it. It's a huge thing, and to see it work and to see people excited about it. It's just unbelievable feeling. I really love it.
You're excited every time there's a new entry LinkedIn and
Oh yes, oh yes. I always it's a strange thing because for me it's like I know that I'm basically the one person behind everything, and to me it's like that kind of my baby that I manage in my spare time. Well, for some people it's I get mind blown every time I hear that for some people it's a huge thing when they, for example, get selected as winners or as muses. And when I get positive feedback, to know that for some people it's a huge deal. It's sometimes I'm like thinking, when did it, how did it happen that it somehow just grew into this?
That's really exciting to see your baby, grow that much. I think that's awesome, and that's true too. I mean, I think it has evolved into something really big, and I can totally see that why it's a big deal for people, when they're winning or if they're amused, because there are so many other people who are also participating with awesome entries, and yeah, I totally understand there. I have participated.
You've got your iron craft. You would understand what you're talking about because you probably have that same feeling, isn't it?
Yeah,
like when you get
if the one thing I relate to is probably like when I started decided to do this and started asking guests, I was really scared that, oh my God, what if they say no? And I think probably you went through the same thing with your muses. But the first time I got a yes, just the first time I asked, it was like, wow, they said yes.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing feeling, isn't it? So
Yeah.
rewarding. Worth all the effort, really, at the end. And to actually be able to, like, very often you probably reach to the people who inspire you personally as well,
Yeah,
your
and
idols,
lots of
and then
people.
to talk to them, to interact with them,
Exactly.
sometimes makes friends with them.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Really
And it's like, wow, they said yes, and they're making a card with me, and that's really awesome. So I can totally relate to, case study and its background too. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's talk more about your personal card making style. Tell me, what do you think it was, and what it is today, and how has it evolved?
So my style, it did evolve a lot. I used to be quite heavily layered in the first years.
It's interesting you say that. I think yours is layered even now. I've seen like some really beautiful layered cards even now.
Yeah, but it's lighter layered. I think it was previously it was about those whole card layers, lots of those like heavy lining card fronts with 1, 2, 3 different papers and putting a lot on them. My cards used to be quite heavy, but now it's about more freestyle layering. I do love my layers, but I think it has gotten lighter. They feel a bit more airy. These cards right now.
And you do cast very well too. I've seen cards where you don't have any layers, or you have like very little layers. So
Yes, yeah, it changes upon the mood. I just wake up in the day and hope for the day and think, well today I feel like a cast card, or today I feel like layered, or today I feel like artsy, or like techniquey. It just depends. I do learn to embrace it.
I found some things that were consistent though. One was, I think you are using vellum a lot more. I see it on most of your cards. And then, are you going more for like lighter and brighter colors than before? Did you feel that too?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't know why. Maybe it's just
Brighter colors are nicer now. Or I don't know if it's like, because I've seen this on almost everyone's blogs who I follow, that photo changes differently make a difference. So maybe it was photo changes, but I can see that you're going for whiter and bright look and more vellum. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's good. I don't mind. I embrace every change that comes, because I know that this is just basically what my heart sings at the moment. So I go with the flow, whatever it tells me.
Definitely showing your creativity over the years, and that's awesome. Cool. Let's talk a bit more about blogging. And I wanted to ask you one about why did you start your own blog, but then also about, did you always use WordPress? Because I know this is more a very technical kind of question, but there are a lot of people who ask me that, what should I choose? I want to try and blog. So I think you're the perfect person to answer this. What should you go for if you're a new blogger?
Well, I had no, I don't remember exactly what I started blogging. I think I just liked the idea, and I like graphic design, very amateurishly, but I do like graphic design. I used to build a website or two for myself on different other subjects before. So I like to just just fiddle with it, and so I did. But I used to have Blogger for probably 2-3 years, and so I've been pretty pretty good with Blogger for a long time until one day they blocked my blog
Oh,
because someone. It's a pretty common occurrence that they would block it because someone pushed that spam button that it's or not something that this blog has spam, or this blog is that has some content that is inappropriate, something like this. There is this button on top of the blogger, so someone must have pushed it out of spite or even by mistake. So my blog was blocked for about a day, and I had to write them personally, the blogger people, to unblock it because they just block it without checking the subject. So I thought that was the last bit that told me that no, I really have to resign with them. Apart from the fact that there were different failures at the before. So I wanted to have that full control over my blog and my content, and the fact that someone may, for example, delete my content or hide it at their whim. So I went to WordPress, and this is a whole different story. This is basically your website, yeah. So you have to buy your own domain, you have to maintain it, you have to upgrade it, you have to pay for it. If something doesn't work, this is basically your responsibility, nobody else's, and very often something doesn't work.
Do you
So
do it a lot of work on everyday basis, or is it just like when something goes horribly wrong, it's horribly wrong?
Maybe not on everyday basis, because it's pretty straightforward when it comes to just writing posts and doing stuff. But pretty much like maybe once or twice per month, there's something happens that I have to look into it. Like right now, I'll have to deal with an issue on hand. I don't know when I'll do it, but there's something wrong with the subscription, which again, if you're in Blogger, for example, they handle it for you. Well, for me, I set it up myself. So if something doesn't work, I have to go and figure it out myself again. So it's definitely more work. But you've got full control over how you want things look like, and I had great joy in building my website and making it look how I want it to look, and having the freedom to change it. So this is fun for someone who likes graphic design. This is fun. Yeah, definitely.
Nice. So would you recommend it for when is like a good transition point, would you say? Is it like maybe start on Blogger and if you get to a lot of posts, a lot of people, and at some point then decide to move or start on WordPress from the beginning?
Now, I would definitely say that for the majority of bloggers, Blogger or other free platform like WordPress, is it org, the free one, or TypePad is the thing to go for. It's free. You get support. Of course, there are glitches, but they, I find myself a bit more demanding that probably your regular bloggers. So I think for most people, free platforms is the thing to go, because it takes thinking of you. For the self-hosted website like my WordPress, it's even transferring from Blogger to WordPress, it's a huge thing. It's actually I consider myself savvy, plus I had my husband to help me, and it was still an ordeal. Most people hire someone to do the transfer for them and set up the website, because it's a big thing. You have to basically build it up from scratch yourself. So it's for people who want a challenge, definitely. So I would recommend for 90% of people, definitely go with Blogger or something else. Don't worry about those details.
Well, I do agree with the thought that WordPress gives you a whole lot more control on a lot of things. Like you have ownership of your content, but even more than that, like you can change your themes, you can do a lot of things, you can just get the exact look you want. It's once you get through the initial thing, you have a very nice site if you want it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so that brings us to, what do you do when you're not crafting?
Oh my gosh, kids. No, I do love spending time with my kids, but it's basically crafting and family life pretty much most of the time. There's just, it's I love doing both. I love spending time with them, but it just not much more that I can do except from being a mom. I do work out a lot. I'm trying to. There are things that I like to do when I have a free time every now and then, but it's sort of occasional. I have lots of hobbies, but they just sort of on a back burner a little bit.
We'll come back. So tell me more about the two kiddos and how do they keep you busy? Looks like they're allowed in the craft room, by the way. So what happens? Is there?
Oh yeah. Well, you can see it. Well, this my craft area is behind me, but it's in a lounge room. As you can see, it's an open area. I mean, you can see we've got a lot of books, but it's sort of doors on both sides, and it's connected between the kitchens and bedrooms areas, so it's like open space that everyone is in at all times. So my husband, when he's at home, he spends time on his computer, and I spend time here on my desk as well a lot of times. So obviously my girls are here a lot, and Zuzia, my older, she has a I don't know whether you can see it. She has
looks like her play area.
She has her little craft desk there as well, the little blue one. So she sits there and does her stuff as well. While the younger one is just generally crawling around and pulling at all of those things that are at the behind me on the. Oh, that you can see things all around the place. So it's like it's a war zone pretty much 24/7.
Wow.
There's never anything sacred here. As I posted on Facebook several days ago, that my distress stains and mace that happen to be on a lower shelf, my older is always pulling them out and playing shop with them, saying that they are, icy poles and coffees and everything, and handing them out to everyone, while the younger one is just sucking on every single one of them, so they're all slobbery all the time.
And you're crafting in the middle of all that. You craft like one of those contestants on like a timed reality show. Like all these things happening around, and you still craft.
Yes. Let's see how much I can do when one is pulling on my leg and the other one keeps asking me about things every
That's like stress crafting or something.
Yeah, it tends to be, but you got to push on, otherwise, I mean, you either push on or you resign. I don't want to resign. I want to keep doing it.
I love the attitude. I really love that. I hope you'll remind me of that when I have kids, and I feel maybe I should give up the hobby or something. I think I agree that it's important to keep creating, have an outlet for yourself. So. Cool, and it's awesome that they get to play with mommy's goodies.
Yes, well, she's getting slowly interested in all these things. So yesterday we're taking out all of the punches, and she was like, "Oh, whoa, mommy, there are 3 butterflies, weren't they? We cut some butterflies." Yeah. With the punches, and so she's getting slowly interested in those things, and I think there will be, because she's got that emerging talent as well to these things. So we'll have another crafter there. I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be fun.
That it would be really awesome. I think you both can craft together, and then you have a mommy-daughter case between each other. That'll be cool.
Yeah, she's constantly there. She's just constantly here. So yeah, I've got a constant companion, which is
Nice.
cool.
Cool. Okay, so this interview is incomplete without a rapid fire round, and we are at that point now. Are you ready?
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay. All right, cool. So I'm going to ask questions super fast. You will respond super fast. Let's get started.
Okay.
What is your favorite holiday tradition?
Holiday tradition. Oh my gosh, we don't do holidays.
Every day is a holiday tradition.
Yes. No, we honestly if I can tell anything, we just every year we try to go and meet family at a certain point, place in a other part of Australia, and this is just it. Oh, I can say that we meet there at the New Year's Day, and there are fireworks. So probably the fireworks would be that, because everyone's looking forward to this. But other than this, we just do whatever we can with what we can.
Awesome. I think fireworks are a good holiday tradition. I think that'll create some cool memories.
Yes.
All right. If you were given your own island, what would you name it?
What would I name it?
Yeah.
Chapel's Retreat.
Oh, that was fast. You
Yes.
have thought very carefully about what you're gonna name your island.
I would probably name it somewhat different in the process, but if I were to make a decision in 5 seconds, that would be it.
The reason I actually chose that question for you is because you're one person I associate with like very unique and different names. Your own nickname and then both your kids, they have very different names. I'd never heard them before, so I was like, I should ask.
Yeah, they're Polish. They're Polish. Yes.
Okay, that explains.
Yeah, my name is the original name is Polish, and their names are all Polish. So we're trying to keep that Polish spirit in us too.
Very beautiful, unique names. I know how awesome it is to have a very different name, so that's awesome for both of them.
Yes.
Like the disadvantage is, you don't find a keychain of your name in a store, but the advantage is you have a different name.
Yes, I like that. I like being different. I don't. Yeah, I'm a bit allergic to uniformism. Trying to be different.
Okay. Tell us one surprising fact about you.
Surprising. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I can see aura. Is that
aura? Oh wow. Okay. Do you see them over video too?
I don't think I tried before. I probably do. If I can see them on photos, then probably I can see them on videos. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Pick a paper crafting product that you got recently and that you really, really love, and try to convince me not to buy it.
Not to buy it? Oh my God! What would I convince you not to buy it?
Out of buying it.
Well, hands down, I didn't purchase it. I got it, but the new W+9 release, which is going to be my first release as a design team member, which is woohoo, like that big.
Okay.
But the whole release is like freaking awesome, and I can't not
to buy it.
Okay. Well, if you want to buy it all, you're gonna spend a little bit of money. So maybe just pick one or two things and not everything. But yeah, all of it is pretty cool. So I don't know. Honestly, you just get it. Just get it.
That's not a very successful attempt, and not to convince me. If anything, I'm just gonna go put in my order like the minute it's available.
No, that was very tricky of you. That is very, very nasty of you to.
Yeah, I agree. That was a trick question, but you have convinced me back. So you've kind of roundabout accomplished what I set out to, get you to accomplish.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so this is the time to give me 3 poses for the camera.
Okay.
You have a helper for some of your poses. Are we getting
Okay, you can do your poses too. 3 poses for the camera.
Come on.
Okay.
What is that?
Ready?
Yep.
Shall we start? Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1,
Cool.
2.
Okay.
3.
Cool. I got all 3 of them. So, since this is Ironcraft, it was my time to get crafty with you, and we both use the same ingredients. I'm actually really happy to have this company as well on this particular episode, as is even more awesome. I've never had them before, so that's even it's awesome. So I'm excited to have Penny Black on Ironcraft for sponsoring our episode today. And we both use the same ingredients. So what we used was this stamp set, which is the Poppy Time stamp set from Penny Black. And we also use this stencil, which is the Suncatcher stencil, and it matches the stamp set. Yep, that's it. And they actually, I had this surprise in my packet from them. I also got this third one, which we both didn't plan to use, but it was someone who did it. Yeah. So I had the sentiments to use as well. I don't quite know what this set is called. Oh, With Love. That's what it's called. With Love. So these 2 were our ingredients, and this was my awesome bonus surprise.
Yeah, I used some extra sets as well on mine.
Oh, awesome. All right. Do you have your card?
Yeah, I had now. Yep.
Awesome. Let's see it. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, you first.
Gorgeous. Is it orange? Is yours orange? I love orange poppies.
Yep. I went with. I tried to go with the red one, but it became an orange one.
That's lovely. I love doing unusual colors on the flowers. Okay, so you
Then I decided to start with a blue poppy, and then I thought that would be too radical, so I went for an orange one.
Blue would be absolutely cool too. I'm gonna do blue next.
All right, tell me about your card.
Okay, so it's I actually went quite technical here. I was just having too much fun. So I worked both with embossing paste and gesso, and oh goodness, there's so much going on here. I stamped the background first. There is a very delicate background.
I can see it.
So I stamped it in distress ink. Then I stenciled the poppy with white embossing paste. That I stamped over it with distress brown ink to make those grooves with the stamp. Then I let it dry and I sponged it with different inks. Then I applied some watercolors to around here, so to give some color to the background. And then I applied gesso over it to mute down the colors.
Wow. And did I hear you say that you stamped over embossing paste? I never thought of that.
I stamped over embossing paste when it was still wet to give it to emboss that stamp lines in it. So there are actual grooves in it where the stamp is.
Where the stamp is. Wow, that's awesome. I love the card. I don't think I can impress you with this one, but I will see if I can. So what I did was I had 3 failed attempts before this, where I first tried to put down the stencil and then color with distress inks with the stencil and then stamp, but it never aligned properly because the stamp itself is not a clear one; it's a cling one. And even though it's really well cut, it's pretty difficult to align it on the stencil. So,
and that's the beauty of it, because when you don't align them 100%, that gives that artsy look.
Exactly, yeah. So, but I found a way of actually cheating and doing it the right way, which is I stamped first and then I put down the stencil. So I could align the stencil well because that was clear. And then, I could color this entire thing with distress inks from the and it wouldn't go outside. And
Yeah.
then I took my Inktense pencils and did all of these patches and the background coloring, and then just watered them around with a brush. Used,
I'm jealous. I love Inkton's pencils.
yes, I do too. I think they're awesome, and they really soften the look really fast, so that was awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
And then just use the sentiment, stamped it a bunch of times with the gray ink, put in a little bit of gold because Chupa likes gold. I was trying to figure out a way on how I could put in some vellum paper in, but I don't have any vellum paper for you today.
That's absolutely lovely, and I adore that it's orange.
Awesome.
I need an orange one.
I love the different color. I thought it gave a good pop of color, so cool.
All right.
All right. Okay, so today Penny Black is sponsoring a giveaway for Ironcraft viewers. One lucky winner is going to get another copy of the two things we used today. So both of these ingredients that we used today, one lucky winner is going to get both of these. And I'm going to pick the winner from the comments on the Ironcraft post. And all you have to do is go to the post, post your comment for this question that Chupa is going to ask. So what's the question, Chupa?
Okay. My question is, who would you like to see as the next muse in case study? Thank you.
Ooh, great question. And you know what will happen, Ironcraft viewers? The next muse in case study might also be the next guest on Ironcraft. So give us your answers, think carefully, and tell us who you would like to see as the next muse on case study. Thank you so much, Chupa, for doing the interview, and thank you, Ironcraft viewers, for joining in today. Thanks so much. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. It was great fun, and I really, really love doing it.